Hi, I might not have a lot of time, but I do have a theory I have to tell you. Alright, M.X.E.S, the thingamajig that holds Mimic in the ruins of M.X.E.S pizzeria under the Pizzaplex. We have known this name for almost 2 years now, but we still have zero clue what it means. It's clearly an acronym of some sorts, but what does it stand for? Also, still were so smug about it on the interview that I think that they actually think that it is trivial. So, what did we come up with in the last 2 years? Mimic exclusion enclosure system. Mimic expression encasement system. No wonder why this post gained 3 upvotes. Malicious Xeno ensnarement system. What does ensnarement mean? To catch or trap in a snare, or to trap or gain power over someone by dishonest or underhand means. Alright, kinda makes sense. What is a snare? No, this can't be right. This is a snare. Duh, to trap a rabbit, but we're not talking about the word rabbit trap, we're talking about the word ensnarement, which is nuts by my standards for a name for a machine. Malicious Xeno? Convoluted, but kinda fits. Well, we'd need something simpler than that. Xeno? Really? Alien? Nah. Mimic xenogenic encasement system. Once again, the X word doesn't make enough of sense to be included in the first part. Why not just mimic encasing system? If you think about it. Yeah, it fits the acronym, but who would call it that? Let's try taking it as a fact that it is a sensical name and it's pretty trivial from the Steelwool interview. What do we got? The word system is a universal and I think that it stands, why not? M, X and E left. Let's talk about the most problematic one, X. Looking at all the X words, I can only make a bullshit out of it. I don't know, like mimic Xanax ingestion system. You know, to calm Mimic down. Uh, So what if it's not a letter that the word starts with? Like in words that start with EX. Well, we can also make up a ton of crap and it won't be conclusive. So what else can X mean? Companies use it as a sign of collaboration. You know, like Nike X, I don't know, basketball. Alright, got it. How do we now decipher it once and for all? For that, let's refer to the other, more recent uses of acronyms in FNAF. In teasers for Secret of the Mimic we have the MCM, which stands for Murray's Custom Manner. And at one of the recent teasers we learn about one of his inventions, Murray's Magic Code Track. I looked at this name and it struck me. This is how Edwin Murray names things. So M in M.X.E.S probably stands for Murray's. But who would Edwin Murray collaborate with? Someone whose last name starts with an E. Someone who'd be able to help to develop such a system. Henry Emily. M.X.E.S stands for Murray X Emily System. And we know Edwin from the books, so we could theoretically figure it out at the time of the Ruin DLC. It does look like a name for a thing that we developed together, and it's simple and stupid enough for Steelwool to feel smug about it. So there we go, we solved FNAF once again. Come back in a week, we'll solve it again.